Hello and good morning from the office. Me with my makeup from yesterday's photo shoot. Some things never change. All right. I figured this is long overdue and I've been wanting to make this video for a while, but I also wanted to thoroughly vet what I was about to say. And again, this is all n equals 1 type of stuff. Let's preface it with that. I have been doing a little bit of improvement season or off season, depending. I'm going to title this. Oh, fudge. I had a great title. Oh, off season experimentation. So I don't like the phrase off season, but the it sounds better. Alliterally. Let's go with it. So if you know me, there has been one diet that I've just absolutely railed against for my entire coaching career. And I've never done this diet. Which you know me by now. I'm an experimenter. I like to try these different things and see how they react to me. But for some reason, I had this like preconceived notion that this particular diet and lifestyle was not for me. My body wouldn't do well on it, and I just never did it. And it was a lot of yeah, just preconceived notions. So if you haven't guessed by now, the diet is the keto diet. And here were my problems with the keto diet for the last several years is that a lot of people saw this as like just, I don't know, is the silver bullet the right word? There is a phrase or a word that describes people who use sayings wrong, and that's me 100%. But anyway, so I just like people have gotten great results with keto, but for me, like I had two major red flags with it. Is one is that people just kind of saw it as a way to quickly lose weight, and once they started eating carbs again, they would just rebound all the weight, and it wasn't sustainable for most people. And two, I had a huge problem with the lack of fiber. You know me, you know I love fiber. I love my veggies, and I'm just like, I just don't think that this is a great fit. But anyway, I listen to podcasts while I'm lifting, and self-help podcast, if you can call it that. Just things to make me a better person, make me a better coach. Some of these are Diary of a CEO podcast, a lot of biohacker podcasts. I like Biohacker Babes, Live Better, Do More, Live Better with Dr. Rangan Chatterjee. Those are some of my favorites. Of course, Corey's, what is it? Corey Hageman's. I love hers too. Those are in my top rotation. Listen to Bikini and Brain too. I'm sidetracking myself with all the podcasts I listen to. But I love podcasts. I listen to them while I'm lifting, so then I both learn and lift. And anyway, time after time after time after time after time, I keep on hearing about the keto diet. Keto diet, keto diet, keto diet. And not in the, hey, do the keto diet to drop 30 pounds and, not in the weight loss realm, but more in like the longevity health realm. And so like after like the 15th podcast of hearing this, I was just like, okay, I need to try this. I need to try this for myself. I don't want to, but I need to. And so I talked with Ryan, my coach, Team Flex head coach, and I was like, hey, I know I'm the anti-keto queen, but I keep on hearing all these podcasts about keto, and like, as my little experimenty self, like, I would be remiss if I didn't try this and give it its fair shake and try it out. And so like Ryan was like super supportive about it, which I knew he would be. He does like more personally, we've talked, because Ryan and I are good friends. We've talked about, he is definitely a more lower carb person in general. He doesn't like sweets. You know me, I love my sweets, but Anyways, I just am looking at my still shot from last time, and it's like, oh, I have this quote on my board that says, every day in every way I'm getting better and better. And I was just like, oh, it's on my board all the time. But anyway, I need to remove that board. I want to redesign this whole room. I am squirreling so hardcore on this. So let's go back. Today is December 15th. I officially started the keto diet on October 19th. I didn't have too much of a keto flu that time around. And I mean, it wasn't that eventful, it just changed a lot of my meats. I had to finish the rest of my chicken because chicken breast does not help me hit my goals for keto because the fats were so high. I don't know what my starting fats were, but I will look at what my current macros are and give you a little bit of a view into that. So, and just to let you know too, we are 6 months post my last show. Almost exactly. I am up. Let me do some quick math. Where's my calculator? Okay. I clocked in at 140.4 today, and I was about 115 on stage. So that's about 25 pounds above stage weight. I've been holding there, plus or minus. Not really plus, but I've been anywhere from mid 130s to 140s for weeks now. And I've been keeping my food lower-ish this time around. I wouldn't say low, but it's not 3,000 calories. I'm trying to look at this. So in August, I was holding at about 135, 130, 135. Been on a couple cruises, went up to 140. And ever since then, it's just between 135 and 140. So from August, September, October, November, December, 4 months holding at that, weight is not bad at all. Because what was July? What did I do in July? I need to go back and see what the heck what did I do in July? Anyway, probably traveled. Oh yeah, I think I went to Vegas that weekend. Yeah. Anyway, I'm scrolling again so hard. So I've been holding pretty steady, and I just wanted to try this out during improvement season. I have a long, long road ahead of me because we are going back to bikini from Fit Model. I love this decision. I'm so at peace with it. But with that, I know that it's going to take many, many years of growth. So I'm kind of doing this experiment right now in the early part of my gain season to see how the keto diet fits in. So one of the things in the podcast that I was reading, obviously, if you go on the internet and search about keto for gains, there's not a lot of good data for that. But the one thing about a lot of scientific studies in general, and especially when you apply them to the bodybuilding world, is that they don't really apply to the bodybuilding world because we live such a different life from the general population, such a different life. And so when they do these randomized controlled trials, RCTs, they are testing the average American. And the truth is that not a single bodybuilder out there would be willing to give up their routine and their foods for a randomized controlled trial because you can't guarantee that you'll be in not the placebo or in a group that's going to make you do things that aren't going to be good for your overall goals. So there is not a lot of studies in elite athletes for keto. But one of the podcasts I was listening to was saying that the biggest flaw with a lot of the keto data is that they are only looking at 30 days worth of data because randomized controlled trials, especially with humans, are big money. And so most of them tend to be shorter studies, fewer people. And that's one thing you really got to take a look at when you look at these studies. It's how many people did they test? What kind of people did they test? Are they athletes? Are they not? How many women to men? What kind of variables to use? That's a whole different topic for a podcast. If you want, or whatever this is, a vlog. Yeah. If you want a whole vlog about what to look for in a scientific study, let me know. But anyway, so I'm okay, well, they've only done studies. within 30 days. And so here's the other thing too, is like a lot of these studies with the keto diet and muscle, it looks like people lose muscle on paper, but it is mostly because we are not having as full muscle bellies from the glycogen and the water. So you're losing water weight essentially, which everyone knows. Everybody who knows anything knows that you lose water weight with keto. That's one of the biggest things that happens. It's like, boom, you drop 5 pounds, 10 pounds because of water weight. But because of that, and with body weight scales in general, weight, like finding out how much muscle you have to body weight is basically measuring how much water is in your body, which isn't like the most accurate thing, which is why I say like, don't put all your eggs in this basket of like, oh, I'm 17% body fat. That number can ebb and flow based on how much water you have in your body. So anyway, this is all to say, these are the reasons that I was like, you know what? Let's fuck around to find out with the keto diet. Let's do this. Let's try it out for a solid 30 days. So for a solid 30 days, I followed the keto diet. Oh, right, macros. Wow. Okay. Let me go back to what my macros were back in October. With all the travel, my macros have not gotten very high because I've taken a lot of like untracked days, so to say, on my cruises and such. But I'm going to find where I'm at here. So when I started keto, I was around 1,800 calories, which is still super low. But like I said, I just come back from 2 weeks of cruising. I kind of wanted to like take some inflammation down, take some weight down. Oh, and I will also say that, oh my gosh, before I started the keto diet, I had like the biggest flare up of back pain since like several years. I think it came from working our food truck for too many days in a row, standing on my feet, not wearing the right shoes, bending over. I could barely walk that following Monday. And actually it was that. So Monday I started to tiptoe into ketosis after that first food truck event. But I did enjoy a little bit of pizza because I was like, well, I'm not going to have pizza for a while. I'll have like one. But to be honest, like I didn't even get to eat hardly anything those days. Those days were crazy, crazy busy. So when I did get back to tracking my macros, I was at about 1,800 calories. My protein was at 130. My carbs were at 25. And my fats were at 132. So again, one of my biggest problems with the keto diet is that there's not a lot of room for fiber. This was something I voiced concern to with Ryan. I told him that I did want to make this a very veggie heavy keto diet. And he was, you can respectfully disagree with people. And at this moment, he is unsure of the role of fiber in people's lives. I still like fiber and I want to prioritize it. So I was like fitting a lot of veg in. I didn't go through. So 1,808 were my calories, 130 protein, 25 carbs, 132 grams of fat. Now, this took quite a bit of time to get used to because for the last probably 15 years of my life, I have been lower fat, higher carb, and all of my meats have been lean proteins. Like the fattiest would be like 93% turkey. So had to take a couple days to get enough fattier meats because like when I was eating non-fatty meats, man, like I would get in predicaments where I would have all these fats left and not enough protein. So breakfast looked like, and let me know if you want a full day of eating. Maybe I'll do this eventually once I like hard launch the fact that I've been keto for whatever. Anyway, heavy cream in the coffee. Hell yeah, it's been a good life. Obviously been fucking around with dairy a lot and it doesn't seem to be having as much of an effect with me. Beef for breakfast with lettuce, heavy whipping cream in my coffee. This day I had 4 slices of bacon, 3 eggs. For breakfast, lunch was 1 burger, spaghetti squash, broccoli, butter. And for dinner was mozzarella cheese, cottage cheese, and protein powder. Looks like a little bit of girl dinner happening on this particular day. But I think it's just because like, we didn't have too much. Ooh, so this is a cheat truck day. Oh, I am all over the place. Initial thoughts of the keto diet. It has been like so exciting to eat all these different meats. Like I love a freaking good burger, but like a burger was always like a cheat for me because the fats from a burger, let's see, like the prime rib burgers that we get from the store, 22 grams of fat. Like when I'm in my highest fat like phase of my life, my fats are usually around like 70, maybe. So that would take like a good amount, like a third of my fats. And, you know, I like nut butters and different things, olive oil. So I wouldn't really eat fats like that. But with this diet, eggs, I freaking love eggs, but like eggs have never been worth it because an egg is, let me see here. These were actually Vital Farms smaller cage-free eggs. So for 3 eggs, it was 15 grams of fat and 18 grams of protein. So never really were like the ratio of fats to proteins was never really my diet. But I freaking love eggs. So anyway, oh, bacon. Let's talk about bacon. 4 slices of bacon was 8 grams of protein and 32 grams of fat. So it's felt really like exotic, to be honest, to be eating all these different types of meats. And because of that, it has been very easy to adhere to. Like, I'm swapping my sugary shit that I used to fit in for satiating high protein meats. And it's been great. It's been great, honestly. I hate how great it's been because I really wanted to not like keto. But alas, here we are. I think the most surprising thing, I don't know if it's surprising, but I have my Aura ring and the data for this has been outrageously clear. Actually, I think I have a screenshot or screen recording watching my readiness. So anytime I go on a cruise, my readiness goes to absolute garbage. From the day I started keto and beyond, my readiness skyrocketed, which readiness takes into account recovery, HRV, just all these general markers. So although keto is technically a stressor to the body because your body is having to go into the state of ketosis, for me personally, it seems like my body really, really, really fucking likes it, which is kind of annoying. Okay, so another thing that a lot of keto people tout is that it helps with sugar cravings. Now, I'm going to be real. I fixed my gut about 2 years ago or so, and ever since then, my sugar cravings have definitely been more in check than before. Before, I was literally driven crazy by sugar cravings. It literally, if I knew I had like a tasty treat in my pantry, it would just like, I could not get it out of my head. Just want to make sure my microphone's on this whole time. I did the gut protocol through Aqualife and it really helped with that. But I think through the stresses of prep, one thing that can cause gut dysfunction is stress in any form, whether it's doing a lot of cardio, maybe you're stressed out at work, different things like that. All these things can cause issues, okay? So I think over time, honestly, my gut had just gotten to a point where it was just like not as optimal as it could be. I started getting like these sugar cravings again. And who knows how much of that too was just coming out of a prep that was essentially a year long. But basically all that stress could have compounded. I don't know what the state of my gut is. I haven't done a gut test. I probably should to see how those things go. But the bad actors in your gut thrive off of sugar, which is why when your sugar cravings are high, it could be a good sign that like you've got dysfunction happening in your gut. So keto is kind of a short-term fix to that because if you're not eating carbs, they're not being fed and they die out. But it's not a permanent solution because most of the time when you start eating carbs again, then, you know, the bad actors just grow. The best way is to do the gut protocol, which is, you know, gets rid of the bad actors and slowly repopulates with the good stuff so that you have a nice balance. But anyway, I have to say that I do feel like my sugar cravings have reduced drastically. My satiety and hunger has improved. Sometimes I will get done eating and I'm just like, I could eat more after this. But like looking at what I can snack on, it's like, I don't want to snack that bad on any of that because it's like nuts, nut butter, meat, cheese, which I could eat cheese all day. I'm having a love affair with cheese right now. I'm not even going to lie. I found a cookie butter cheese that was really good. I should probably pick up another wheel of that before it's gone. It was very cute and sweet, but weird, definitely weird. And I don't know if I hadn't been on keto, if I would ever buy it again, but here we are. As far as muscle gain, I don't feel like I have lost any muscle on keto. Let me see if I can find any data from my, whatchamacallit, Withings. I don't know. It's just not great. And it is also skewed because we've been on cruises here and there. So, I like my shape right now. I don't want to gain anymore, if I'm being honest. 140, I feel like, is my max. I don't want to go high 140s. I was high 140s at the end of my last improvement season before I ended up going to Fit Model. But I know I have at least another year ahead of me, unless I decide to go back to Fit Model, which I don't think that's planned. I will never say never. I have nothing against the Fit Model division. I thought it was a great division, but I love bikini more. But if the universe, aka the evolution of Fit Model, leads to the fact that I'm Fit Model Gun, I have no problem with that. I'm still practicing my Fit Model posing with all my Fit Model posing clients, which is awesome. But yeah, sugar cravings reduced, appetite seems to have regulated. There's been just a lot of wins outside, like just like knowing that like you're not eating a lot of carbs in general. It's just like nice. Like last night we went caroling. There's like tons of plates of cookies, which if you know me, cookies are my kryptonite. I freaking love cookies, chocolate chip cookies. And I was just like, yeah, this looked good, but I'm not eating that. Like that doesn't align with what I'm eating right now. So I went keto for the 30 days straight, and then I had a week of cruising coming up. Actually, it was 8 days. It was for my birthday. And I was like, do I want to be keto for this? And I really thought hard. And I was like, you know what? I'm just like not going to decide anything. And I'm just going to show up and I'm just going to eat. I'm just going to take it as a mental week off. And I ended up not being keto for that week, which was fine. But I also was not like crazy into the sweets either. Like I would have a roll with butter at dinner. I ate things that had bread, but I wasn't like cruising the dessert bar like I used to so desperately. Like I would have my little gelato every afternoon, or some days I wouldn't, and that would be fine too. Previous cruises, I'd be like a super like crazy person and I would eat dessert at the restaurant. And then I would want to go up to the dining room and see, or not the dining room, but like the buffet and see if they had any tastier desserts that weren't available downstairs. It was just like, that was like a huge mental win for me. And so obviously coming back, I was a little water retainy. So yeah, there's been a lot of cruising this spring, fall, whatever season we're in. But once I got back from the cruise, I was keto again for a week, and then we had our bake-off. Oh, that was another win. Excuse me. We have this yearly bake-off that I usually host at my house, but this year we have a cat, and 2 of our participants are deathly allergic to cats. So my good friend Michaela put it on at her house. And this year the theme was bars. Like I was like so removed from like sugar cravings. Like I had such a hard time picking a dessert because it's not like, I don't know, maybe they all just looked good and I was just like, I don't know which one to make. I did not pick what dessert to make until I was in the parking lot that morning of the Bake Off. And I just picked a Handle the Heat recipe. I love her recipes. It was really good. But like at the Bake Off, like we make the dessert super small because we have like 5 or 6 entries. And everybody brings, you know, something to share as well. I did have cornbread. I had a little bit of mac and cheese, a little bit of potatoes. And of course, we had pork. I made my buffalo chicken Frank's dip, which is like my favorite thing to bring to a party because it's like as much protein packed as possible, but it is heavy in fats, which stereotypically when I go to a party, I would like hit that hard, but then I'm like, oh God, how many fats did I just eat? Now it doesn't freaking matter because my fats are sky high. But I just got to eat it with carrots first, having it with chips, which is fine because I'm not like I like chips, but it's not like that's not my kryptonite. Chocolate chip cookies are. But anyway, when it came to the dessert part of it, it's like I had one teeny tiny square of everything. And that was it. Like previous years, I would just like borderline make myself sick because everything just tasted so good and I just wanted more. But like this time I was like, yeah, that's good. That's good. I have a hard time deciding, but I'm not going to eat anymore because I'm full. Anyway, so since that bake-off, which was on the 7th, which I guess was a week ago, what the fudge? God. Time is just like, I can't fathom how like both quick and slow time is going. Been keto since, plan to be keto until Christmas. I will probably not be keto for Christmas because I do enjoy cooking, baking cookies. Christmas, I like cookies. I'm gonna eat some fucking Christmas cookies, let's be real. I'm gonna make some Christmas cookies with my daughter and make memories. But I think for the beginning part, at least, of 2026, or as long as it feels good, I think I'm gonna be keto. Which I can't believe I'm saying this. Like, what the heck? We'll see. I'll document my gains. See, that's one thing about me is like, I am consistent AF. Like at the gym, in my food, I'm very type A. You know this. I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And so I really just want to see what we can achieve. And since I have such a long improvement season ahead of me, if I do take like what, 3 months, like maybe I'll get tired of fatty meats and want to go back to a higher carb, lower fat. That can entirely happen, but it's not happened so far. And I'm really enjoying cheese. And I'm really enjoying pork shoulder and 90% or 85% ground beef, burgers, all of it. I'm enjoying it all. So we'll see. Drop any questions you have for me in the comments and I will address them. And I just want to leave you with like, never say never. Don't let preconceived notions rule your life. I'm not saying keto is forever. Definitely not. But it is what I'm doing right now. So I'll keep you posted on keto gains. And until next time.